Luke Smallbone, welcome. You're on tour now, correct?
We are one of the strangest things in the world. Today it's election day, and we're also playing at a casino in Hollywood, Florida. So a Christian band playing a casino on election day. It makes no sense, but that's what's happening today.
God can do the impossible, can he?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Absolutely crazy.
And now you're bringing your Christmas concert to the big screen. How did all
Yeah.
of this happen? Like, how does For King and Country bring this beautiful concert that was recorded in Houston in this amazing arena? How does this end up on the big screen?
Yeah, well, one of our dreams was for this project was, anytime we go do the Christmas tour, it's our favorite tour that we would do every year. But the problem was is if we went out west, you can usually do about 14, 15 shows. That's kind of how it works every Christmas. But if you went out west, people out east got mad. And if you went out east, people out west got mad. And so we started thinking out to ourselves, like, how do we actually reach everybody all at once? And so that's how we came up with this idea of what if we would record it in a cinematic way, take the Unsung Hero film crew and bring them to Houston and film the show and give you kind of a front row seat to the show and be able to give it to basically all of America. I mean, one of the things we've been saying is within, for the most part, unless you live in Nome, Alaska, 30 minutes within pretty much every American in the U.S. and around the world. We're going to be in Australia and the U.K. As well, and to be able to give the greatest story ever told to everyone all at once. That was the vision and the dream for it.
I love that. It's in theaters December 5th through the 9th. Fathomevents.com if you want to get your tickets. I love A Drummer Boy. How did you land on A Drummer Boy for the concert?
Yeah, look, I think Drummer Boy has been, the little Drummer Boy, which we shorten to Drummer Boy all the time, is probably, I mean, it's probably one of the most reactive things that we ever do. We play it all year round. We play that song, and so I think that people know what that means when you hear, the title Drummer Boy. You know it's Christmas. You know it's these things, and so yeah, I think that for us, it's special for us to be able to get the privilege of being able to play this song and have played it since I think we released it for the first time in 2012, and
Wow.
here we are, 2024. It's still going, and it's still has I feel like a little bit like the Little Drummer Boy because the song is about a little boy who has no gifts, and he's poor, but he has this talent to play the drum. He wants to do it for Jesus. I think most people want to do something for Jesus, and we forget that sometimes it's just this tiny little talent that he gives us. If you do that for Jesus and all the glory and the honor and praise that he feels through that, I think he's honored from it. And so hopefully that when you hear that song, that's what you feel as well.
I pulled up the song as I was preparing for this interview and I just played it while I was getting ready. And I'm like, I'm ready for Christmas now. I
There you
am.
go. There you go.
I'm
Done.
ready. Yeah. So if you guys haven't listened to For King and Country, that song, it's like, oh, this is all I need. And then to bring it to the big screen and see it in a cinematic form. When people leave the theaters, so they're going to go to the concert in theaters all across America. When they leave, what do you hope that they take away?
Yeah, well, I don't know when you're posting this podcast, but obviously, yeah, it's election day today, right? And basically, roughly, most of the time it's 49, one side, 51 the other side, and then every however many years, 2 years, I guess, it kind of flips back and forth, right? And so you have certain people that are delighted, other people that are disappointed, but I also think that that's most of life is people depending on the circumstances they're walking through they are delighted one day if that business deal goes through, and if it fails, they're quite disappointed. For others, when your kid behaves well and is doing the things that you as a parent are hopeful for, you're happy, and when they're not, you're disappointed. Most of the life straddles that fence back and forth, just over and over and over again. My hope is that when you come to the concert and you experience Christmas and a Drummer Boy Christmas live, that it's not necessarily about us. It's about the greatest story ever told in the history of the world. I mean, look, think about this. We hinge our faith on this little baby boy. If he doesn't come all these years ago, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be a heck of a lot more lost than we are right now. And so to be able to remember, I think sometimes we forget in the Western world, they're much better in actually in other cultures at remembering. But the reason why we remember is because it infuses hope, in who we are. And when I say hope, not something that you're longing for, but a hope that is certain. That's why it comes every year. And it's important for
Yes.
us to actually take that very seriously and teaching our kids to remember, because when you remember where you came from, you remember, you hold on to truths, but it's when you forget that you lose your purpose, you lose your way. And my hope is that people come and they whether or not it reinfuses that purpose in them, or they go, hey, I did get a little off track, but here I am back, remembering that this is the hope that I hinge my life on.
Thinking about, as we finish up Christmas, we go through the Christmas season and then we're ready to start that new year again. So just as you were saying that, I feel like Christmas season is such a beautiful time for all of us to remember, to reset, and then restart for yet another year. I love how hope is the anchor for our souls. And we have that opportunity to just remember that over and over and over. So I'm excited to go see your concert live in theaters. I think it'll be beautiful. And like you said, anyone can see it. As I was preparing for this, I was talking with our associate, and I just said, there's a lot of people who could probably not see you live in concert. There's a lot of people who don't live within driving distance or the financial capabilities to get to a concert. But this is something that everybody is able to access. Almost everyone is able to access. I love that. Thank you for doing that. I mean, having the vision so that everyone has access, almost everyone has access to this. I think that that's really beautiful. Thank you for doing it.
No, no worries. No, look, and I appreciate you saying that, because it's not lost on us that live shows are expensive. You go, it's not the easiest thing in the world to save up the money to do it. We obviously want to deliver a show that is worthy and is high quality. But yeah, it does come at a cost. But that a film, for the most part, within reason, it's $10 for a ticket, and that was always our hope. We want to be able to get to everyone. Just like I think the hope of the world, Jesus, he wants to get to everyone as well. And so
Okay.
yes, that's one of the things that we're looking forward to. Is just that there's not really any reason why you can't now,
Yeah,
and that's super exciting for us.
I love that. Looking back on the entire process, creating the concert, turning this into the film, what particular aspect stands out to you most?
Well, I think it was the filming of the project. We only made a decision to film it probably, I think, 2 weeks prior to actually filming it, which shouldn't be done that way. It's too quick, and so that was pretty stressful. I think one of the things that Joel and I were both saying is like the pain we would feel right now, that I think that we'll be proud of ourselves a year from now. And so it was a little painful. It was hard work. You're tired. You're ready to go home, and yet here we are. There's that you added an extra quite a lot to the table. So but all in all, yeah, I think that was probably the thing that stood out to us. And then the other thing is just the fact that people were available and people signed up for it very quickly and turned something around pretty quickly as well. Something that we're very, very, very proud of.
My husband always makes fun of me because I'm an activator. So
Yeah,
I go to him and I say, "So I've been thinking about this idea." And in his mind, he's like, "Oh, well, what kind of work is this going to require of him,
yeah,
of him?"
yeah.
Because I'm like, "Oh, I've had this idea. Let's make it happen." And I have not gone to him and said, "Hey, I want to film a concert that's available for theaters," and given a 2-week notice. I think he would have thought that was a little bit extreme.
Maybe
However,
that's your maybe that's your Christmas gift to him this year.
I'm just so thankful that you guys have the vision. A lot of people would say, "Oh, that just can't be done. It can't be done. It's only 2 weeks notice." But it was. It was able to be done because God can do the impossible and he made it happen. Thank you for doing it.
Most things that people say can't be done can, and usually when they say it can't, it's just an excuse for laziness. I mean, call it for what it is. Most of it will be painful and will be hard,
Yeah.
but usually, impossible things don't ever want to get done. But it takes a few willing participants to actually get it done, and that's probably the way that we view most of life.
Thank you for doing it. It's not impossible because God can make all things possible, including Unsung Hero. Let's talk about it a little bit. I
Yeah.
had the beautiful opportunity to interview your mom, Helen Smallbone,
Yeah.
and she's such an amazing woman, the unsung hero. I know she always says, "Oh, I'm not the unsung hero," but in your story in this movie, she is. Congratulations on the success of that movie. It was so beautifully done. So beautiful.
I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, look, um the movie Frozen 2, I don't know if you ever saw it. I don't know if you got kids or not, but if you do have kids, you've probably seen it. There's a song at the end, and most people are like, "Where is Luke going with this? He's off his rocker." There's a song at the end where she sings about doing the next right thing, and I think sometimes we forget that most of life is actually just doing the next right thing. And for us, we didn't know if this idea would work. We didn't know. And in some cases, if you start making decisions based off of if things will work, you'll never do something. Well, you'll never do the impossible. And so for us, it just felt like this is the next right thing for us to do. We need to do this. And my mom is uh, is an extraordinary person. She's extraordinarily simple. And I think most people think that to be and do extraordinary things, you have to be this larger than life character. You have to have a microphone in front of you. You have to have a platform. The whole vision for the movie was, what if you actually don't care about any of those things,
Right.
but you actually just go home and love your family? My mom did that well. People often ask, well, what was she like as a mother? Because if you made a movie about her and it's basically celebrating motherhood and being parents, and, yada yada yada, she must have been extraordinary, and she must have not made any mistakes. Well, of course, my mom made mistakes. She's human. But in the moments where I needed her to be a great mother, she was an outstanding mother. I don't ever remember any moment in my life where I was hurting as a teenager and went to her and I was discarded or whatever it might be. Somehow she always had the right things to say at the right moment. And for that, that's been her gift. So I have nothing but wonderful things to say about her, because she did that. I think a lot of life is, and if there's any other parents or kids listening to this, if you learn to do the hard or almost do the impossible right thing, and you keep doing that over and over and over again, you will have an extraordinarily fulfilled life.
I love that so much. You've had a big year. So, Unsung Hero, now this concert that's hitting theaters December 5th through the 9th. How has your life changed this year?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's changed that much. If it's changed too much, I'm doing something wrong. Um, no, I think it got a little intense, and we're a little maybe tired emotionally. I'm not physically tired per se. Physical and emotional tiredness are two very very different things. One far more dangerous than the other. Emotional tiredness is extremely dangerous, and I'm not absolutely whooped, but I will say the movie did take a good bit out of me. There was an effort to that campaign of just, and I probably did 250, 300 interviews. I mean, it was just unbelievable. The workload was amazing, but it was worth it, right? And I think that what I always take is, in the Bible, David talks about going out to war, and there's a season for going out, and there's a season for coming in. The problem for a lot of people is they never come home, they never come back. And for me, what I want to focus on in this next season is we got to come back in. We got to simplify this a little bit. And so this next year, we're going to take a little bit of time off. We're not going to travel quite as much, and that will be our coming in season.
Good.
And we're looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I don't think a whole lot's changed. And I don't necessarily, I still mow my lawn. I still put on my pants the same way, my shoes. Not too much has changed.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I knew you guys weren't going on tour this upcoming year. I think that's beautiful to know what the Lord's calling you to do and to not do. I think it's amazing that you're going to have hopefully a little more time to just spend with Him and fill up more than you ever have. So, what are your next projects, though?
Yeah, so next year we'll be home, but we're going to work on new music. We're going to work on potentially a new movie as well. And so next year is going to be a year of creation. But it won't be idle. I don't think we're also meant to be people that take time off and just be idle. I think that we're designed to be purposeful. So if you're purposeful in relaxing, go do something, go travel, go do whatever. But I just don't think being is necessarily you know all that helpful unless there's a structure and a purpose to it, So we'll be home. We will have obviously more time, but we'll be home and focusing on this the new projects that are ahead that hopefully will kind of shape the next 4 or 5 years.
I agree. I totally agree. The Lord is calling all of us to do something. Idleness is not one of them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like to share about this concert and maybe why people should go?
Man, I think that look, go make a Christmas memory with your family. I think that
Yeah.
one of the things that I love about our Christmas shows is we're continually aware that people are coming to make what we call in our family core memories. And I think that this night, hopefully, it's close to you, and you can go and make a core memory with your family. And I think you will look back, not necessarily because it's a king country thing, but you'll just look back in awe of the love of who Jesus is and the brilliance of Christmas. And I hope you all go out and enjoy it. It's been well looked after, it's been well thought of, and hopefully you can enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have life-changing moments in a theater.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
do.
it's it's beautiful how you can take your family and friends. I always say there's probably people in your life that may not be willing to walk into the church doors, but they're willing to go to a theater and the Lord's able to plant a seed and you have that opportunity to take them to a beautiful movie. This happens to be a concert and take
Yeah.
them to the theater and give them an opportunity to meet Jesus and experience a deep relationship with him.
Absolutely. It's out December 5th through the 9th. So go get your tickets. They're out, actually on sale now. So I think you can go to fathomevents.com or kingcountry.com for more information. But we look forward to seeing you guys in the theaters.
Thank you, Luke. We're just praying for the success of this project for you and for your upcoming projects. Thanks for joining us.
No worries. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.